What's up, good people of YouTube? It's me, Chavez, back with another Prizepicks player prop video for you. Today is Monday, December 18th, 2023. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. We got new plays to cover in today's video. 2 NBA plays, 1 NFL play for tonight's Monday Night Football game. In addition to that, we'll be recapping our plays from Friday. As painful as that will be, we'll recap our plays, and then we'll always update ourselves on the current injury news in the NBA. So if all that sounds good, stick around, drop a like, sub up, and click that notification icon so that you are notified of all upcoming content and videos from me and my channel. And without further delay, let's recap our plays from Friday. All right, where did we go wrong on Friday? Everywhere. We go 1 and 2 with our plays. Kevin Durant saves us from being saves the day from being an 0-3 day. But let's start it off with Gordon Hayward. Took the over 9.5 rebounds and assists. He finishes with 7. Took the over 4.5 assists for Alfred Sengun. He finishes with 1. And then we took the over Kevin Durant, 4.5 assists on Prizepicks. He gets a 6. So pretty much my power plays were sunk. My flex slips were sunk. I guess there was a slight silver lining that Kevin Durant hit the over on his assist. Saved it from being an 0-3 day. I'm on a cold streak. This is a real cold streak here. I do know that cold streaks at some point have to come to an end. So why not have it end today on a new day, starting off a new week? Why not? So looking to bounce back from this awful result here, this awful past week, and hopefully these 3 new plays can get us there. Before we get into those plays, let's go ahead and quickly recap, or excuse me, update ourselves. I always say recap, update ourselves on injury news in the NBA. There's your injury report for December 18th as of now. Will change at some point. News moves quickly in terms of injury status and questionable tags in the NBA, but there you go. Lengthy Q tag, lengthy list of players who are already confirmed out, but we do know Bam is in, Hero's in, and Alec Burks is in. So keep your eyes out for updates. I'm sure that Q tag will shrink a little bit, and we'll see some of those names be put on the doubtful list or even out list, or maybe even the probable list. But there's your injury report for December 18th in the NBA. Whew. And now we get into new plays for Monday. Before we get into those plays, consider using props.cash for your own researching purposes. Take 25% off using my promo code Thanks25 over on props.cash. I've been using props.cash myself for over a year now, and I absolutely love everything about them. Mobile app to desktop, it's phenomenal. All right, let's move into our new plays for today, starting off with DK Metcalf receiving yards. I got this at 61. This will get moved at some point. I see it at 65 on certain books. I'm sure it will bump up at some point. I also like the over on his touchdown prop, his rushing receiving touchdown over on Prizepicks, set to 0.5. I like the over on that one. It is also a demon, which is a payout boost, which is nice. I like the over Vooch, 1.5 steals and blocks for our second play. And then I like the under 12.5 rebounds for Joel Embiid as our third play. We're heading over to props.cash using the tools over there, and together we'll break all this down. All right, we're moving through this very quickly. So 1.5 steals and blocks for Vooch, getting great odds to the over on this one, minus 131. Taking a look at his last 10 games, he brings in a 60% hit rate, and then over his last 5 games, he brings in a 60% hit rate, roughly averaging 2 steals and blocks per game, 1.9 and 1.8. I also like the fact that he does play well versus the 76ers. Has not played against them this season, but last season he totaled 3, 7, 8 steals and blocks in those 4 games, averaging 2 per contest, and you can see that upside right there of 4. So I understand that the Philly matchup isn't great on paper, but it is still something that I believe Vooch can take advantage of. I think that he can get us 2 blocks in this game. I think he can get more than 2 steals and blocks in this game, to be completely honest with you. But for today's game, for the over to hit, all we need is 2. It's something that he's done quite often over his last 5 and 10 games. I see that streak continuing today. So give me the over, 1.5 steals and blocks for Nikola Vucevic and that is going to be our first play of the day. All right, sticking in the same game, we're going to take a look at Joel Embiid's rebounds. Set the 12.5. I like the under on this one. We're getting the juice to the under here to support that. Taking a look at his last 10 games, he has gone over this in 50% of his last 10 games and 60% of his last 5 games. Keep in mind that, yes, taking the under on Joel Embiid props is always a little scary, but we've seen him put together monster PRA performances, monster fantasy point performances, and he doesn't always crush the boards. Now, 11, 10, 11, 11, 12, these are not small numbers. These are not numbers to sneeze at. I mean, if you're averaging double-digit boards over the last 10 games over the course of the season, that's incredibly impressive. However, we need him to get 13 rebounds to go over this line. And again, he's only done that in 5 out of his last 10 games, and he's gone under in 5 out of his last 10 games. I'm not saying that he has a bad game. I'm not saying that he goes out there and stinks it up. I'm just saying I don't see him grabbing 13 rebounds today. This may be a little scary for you. You may want to back off this line because taking the under on Joel Embiid props may not be your thing, but it's been we've done it here before. We've taken unders on superstars before. We've taken the under on Luka rebounds and assists, and that worked out for us. We're taking the under on another superstar today. 12.5 rebounds for Joel Embiid. Give me the under that, and that is going to be our second play of the day. Third play of the day, let's talk about DK Metcalf's receiving yards. Now, you see on certain books, it's set to 65.5. I saw it on Prizepicks at 61.5. Now, because of this line discrepancy, there's going to be some movement. I can guarantee that. But you are still getting positive odds in favor of the over here, -110. Over his last 10 games, Metcalf is averaging 74 receiving yards, and over his last 5 games, he's averaging 82. Taking on a Philly defense that is terrible at defending the pass, allowing almost worse than the league in terms of passing yards allowed, passing touchdowns allowed, and then they are dead last in passing attempts allowed per game. Teams are passing all over them. You can see his projections today on props.cash set to 77.33, which is well over that 65.5. Now, I also mentioned the over on the touchdown prop. So I'm going to pull up the Prizepicks app right here. So, all right. So now DK Metcalf's line has moved to 63.5 receiving yards, which is still 2 yards lower than what we're seeing on certain books. But touchdown prop, rushing, receiving touchdown set to 0.5. This is a demon, which is a payout boost. I think he's in a good spot to go over both of these. So we already went over his projections, his game logs, but big news in Philly. This was announced on Saturday. There will be no Darius Slay today. Darius Slay will not be on the field. He is he is Philadelphia's top cornerback. He is their one of the top players on defense. Without him in there, this defense does get worse. I already like the over on Metcalf's props for today's game, but without Slay in the lineup, I'm a little surprised that we are not seeing a bigger bump for DK Metcalf without Slay in there. So that is huge news for the over on DK Metcalf's points, or excuse me, his receiving yards. Now I do want to share this with you very, very quickly. So typically DK Metcalf is not a receiver that is going to get peppered with targets every single game. But over the last 5 games, we can see that his targets have increased from, this here, high as 12, and then it kind of plateaued at that 9, which is great, and then back down to 5. DK Metcalf rips off huge gains. He's averaging over 30 yards per long reception per game, and then 23 yards after the catch. If DK Metcalf gets open and he catches one of those 35, 40-yard passes, he's pretty much, he's almost there with his receiving yards. And when you rip off big chunks like that, I think a touchdown is highly, highly probable when you're ripping off that kind of yardage. So there's a lot to like here for DK Metcalf. No Darius Slay, great projections, and facing a defense that's already allowing a ton of production through the air. So for our third and I guess fourth play of the day, I'm taking the over. DK Metcalf receiving yards playable up to 65.5, and taking the over 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. Consider subbing up to the channel. Drop a like, drop a comment as well. Let me know what you do like on the board, as well as your thoughts on these plays. And as always, regardless of the player props you roll with, mine, your own, somebody else's, I hope they all respect the damn coin. Best of luck to you all, and until my next NBA, NFL player prop video, YouTube short, live stream, Chavez is out.